What's going on, YouTube? This old Scooby-Doo, man. I am here at the rest area on 7175 at the 178. Got to take a 30-minute break. Told you we was headed to Columbus, Ohio. Subscriber asked me how do I do my trip planning? How did I do trip planning before I got a GPS? Well, the biggest thing is understanding the road atlas. You've got to understand the road atlas and everything. But before I go any further, let me answer another subscriber. A couple of subscribers asked me, had I heard anything? No. Just continue to keep the driver in your prayers and everything. That's all I can do. We're just praying for him. We're praying for him and everything. Just keep him in your prayers. Him and his family. Keep them in your prayers. You never know what anybody is going through out here in this trucking industry, but all kind of stuff is going through my head on what may have happened to them. And I've got to stop thinking like that and turn it over to the Lord, and that's what I did. I turned it over to God. I leave it up to Him. I put Him in His hands, and I ask you all to continue to pray for Him and everything, that He'll turn up. He'll turn up. So also I want to ask you all to pray for another friend of mine, man. He had a stroke, but hey, God is good. He's doing good. I talked to him on the phone today. I tried not to call him too much because I don't know what his schedule looking like, if he's asleep, if he woke, but pray for him and everything. CB handles Hard Rock. That's my partner, man, old Hard Rock. Me and him worked together and stuff, and just put him in your prayers and everything, that he may have a speedy recovery. Please keep him in your prayers. They found 2 drivers in the truck dead on the side of the road. We ask you to put those 2 drivers and their families in your prayers. Man, there's so much going on out here. Please, whatever you do, pay attention to your surroundings. To my ladies, pay attention to your surrounding, ladies. You guys, pay attention to your surroundings. Same thing can happen to a woman, can happen to you and everything. But please, y'all, you've got to pay attention to your surroundings out there, please. And let's continue to keep each one of those drivers in our prayers. Back to the young man. The biggest thing is understanding the road atlas. You've got to understand the road atlas. That's where you got to start off first, is understanding the road atlas. The difference between your interstates, your highways, your routes, your SST routes, those different highways that trucks are allowed on. The road atlas can be tricky, but it can be fun to learn. You can take the road atlas and you can learn a lot from it, a lot. That's how you got to start your trip planning off first. Now that what took place is the GPS. The GPS has come out and took a lot of that away from drivers that we used to do back then. Before we got GPS, before we got cell phones, where you can pull up this and pull up that. We didn't used to have it. So before the GPS has come out, they was using the cell phone, putting this information in the cell phone. Now, let me say this to the drivers. Whether you're male, female, white, black, Mexican, Latino, Puerto Rican, it don't matter. Don't rely on your cell phone, because a lot of that cell phone is designed for cars. These GPSs that they're making now is designed for trucks, and they can screw you up. Whatever you do, please understand the map, the road atlas. Learn the road atlas. Grab your road atlas, sit down while you're at home, and look at it. Start with the first page. First page should be an index. Second page should go through the different CDL classes. The third page should go through your low bridges and stuff. Each state, it'll list it in alphabetical order, each state, and where each low overpass is. The next one will give you a breakdown to what each index or mark on that map book represents. It shows the interstates, which is going to be in blue and red. It shows the highways, which is going to be in white. It shows the routes, which can be in red. It shows the STR, STAs, standard truck route, and everything, which would be in the red. But the thing about it is knowing where you're going. But you know what the best tool is? If you're new at this, what I used to do when I started, I would find that city on that map. Go to that state, the state that you're in, like Columbus. You'll go to Ohio, look up Columbus, you'll find that city. When you find that city, you call the phone number to the receiver or the shipper and say, hey, I'm gonna be coming, right here it's showing I'll be coming on Interstate 71. And I see you're off of 270. Can you please tell me how to get to you? Now think about it now. A lot of them don't know how to get to work themselves, and they drive it every day. A lot of them don't know how to get to work. But you've got to start somewhere. But while you're sitting down, if you're being trained by an instructor, ask the instructor to show you some points in the road atlas. To that subscriber, I'll try to do a video again on the road atlas step by step. But that would be I would have to make it at least a 2 to 3 part video, because the road atlas can take that much. You can go through that much time on a video. And I try to keep my videos below 30 minutes so that it don't, it won't bore you or nothing like that. And another thing, before at the end of this video, everybody, I got a couple more emails. Got a guy saying that I'm embellishing company. I'm not making the money that I said I'm making, and being at home every weekend. Like I told you, I'm not going to show you my paychecks, but I did make a chart. And at the end of this video, I'm going to put a shot of this chart of my checks since I've been here at this company, Colonial. My checks, first is going to be my gross. The next line is going to be my net. And then at the bottom, it's going to total up the gross for that month. And it's going to total up the net for that month, what I made. Maybe this will shut you up. I'm so sick of y'all. Not all of y'all. It's just these few that trolls that want to say that I'm lying about what I'm making and being at home every weekend, that I'm telling a lie. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in and give a shot of from January to, I think it's from January to June. 2 checks in June. So you're going to see the gross, you're going to see the net, and at the bottom it's going to total up what I made for that month in gross and in net. And then I'm going to show you the, well, I told you what the, what's the name was, my deductions. My deductions comes up to about 1080. Now, on doing that 1080, they take $100 in that 1080, and they take out what they call an escrow. That $100 goes into an escrow until it reaches $5,000. Once it reaches $5,000, that $100 goes back into your pocket. They don't take out no more until it reaches $5,000. They stop. They won't take another $100 out until that truck is ready to turn in. Rainy day, you can set that up whatever amount you want, from $0 to $1,000 a week, whatever you want to put in rainy day. That's what all that is like a little savings account. They hold money for you. If you don't set nothing to them and you get an oil change, it's going to come out of your paycheck for that week. But you can call into and talk to Miss Casey, great lady, young lady. She's going to make sure that if you call her, she'll tell her, hey, Miss Casey, can we, if possible, can I take that out of my rainy day for the oil change? She'll be like, okay. If she don't hear from you, she's going to think that you want her to take it out of your regular paycheck over here. Everybody in the office over here works with you when it comes down to stuff like that. You have to communicate. Remember old saying my grandmother used to say, closed mouths don't get fed. So to those few trolls out here and few haters and said that I'm lying and embezzling the company, blowing it up to be something that it ain't, blah, blah, blah. I'm not making that money going home every weekend. I'm going to give you a clip. And this will be the last time we talk about this again. Okay? This is the last time I'm talking about this. Because really, I don't owe nobody no explanation. I don't owe you nothing. And the thing about it, what I'm making, you might not make that. You might not run like me. But I done been out here for 30-some years, and I done stayed out on this road. I'm ready to now, I'm enjoying this where I get home on the weekend, I deliver in Memphis Friday, or I deliver Monday in Memphis. Hey, that's the objective right there. Always go home under a load that delivers in your home or a load that delivers somewhere for Monday. Don't never go home. But what the problem is, some guys go home, some guys and ladies go home, and they get home, they will sit at home, deliver the load, and then they're going to sit at home for 5 days. You can't do that. You can't make money out here and then doing this leasing or owning a truck. You know, now if you own a truck, then fine, because you pay your note once a month. Leasing, and remember one thing, leasing is a stepping tool. It's only a tool to see if you got what it takes to lease a truck. Leasing ain't made for everybody, y'all. Leasing is not made for everybody. Remember that. Leasing is not made for everybody. But it is a good thing to see if you got what it takes before you go out here to a dealership, throw $10,000 or $20,000 down on a truck, and then realize, this ain't for me, man. This ain't for me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got this truck now. Shoot, man, I wish I had done another route. Where you can. You can go over to Colonial, you can go to Colonial, Tribe Express, Snyder, Warner, I don't think JB, yeah, JB, any other company that, R.E. Garrison, you can go to any of these companies that I'm calling. There's more companies that you can go to that has a walk-away lease. Make sure it's a walk-away lease. Take Snyder out of that, because Snyder isn't a walk-away lease. Take them out of that. You can't walk away from a Snyder lease. You can walk away, but you're going to have a penalty to pay. Over here, you can walk away. You can let them know, hey, this ain't working for me. Boom. Go in, see Miss Debbie them, and just tell them, hey, I appreciate everything, but this ain't going to work. I'm not going to be able to do this. Turn your truck in, shake their hand, sign a few papers, walk on the way. Walk on the way. Anything, any money that they owe you in 45 days, hey, if you settled up with everything with the company, you don't owe them nothing, they'll send you a check in 45 days. You get your money that they owe you. If they owe you any money, they'll send it to you in 45 days. 45 days. They want to make sure everything is in good standards with the truck. So, hey, what you got to lose? But you can come over here or any of these companies, go to work for them, see if you got what it takes to lease a truck. A lot of people don't have what it takes to lease a truck. Okay? Think about that. If you don't have what it takes, just stay a company driver. If you're making $1,200, $1,300 a week, stay a company driver. You ain't got no responsibility. The truck break down, you leave that sucker sitting on the side of the interstate and tell them, hey, y'all, I'm getting in the bump. Whenever y'all get somebody out here, boom. If you own a truck, you can't do that. You can't do it if you own a truck. You got to sit there and you got to figure out how you're going to get your truck off the side of the road. Leasing, I can call Colonial, the shop will turn around, send a record to me. Now, if it's warranty, hey, I'll let it be covered. But if it ain't, it's on me. That's the difference in it, y'all. Use this leasing as a step to see if you got what it takes to be an owner-operator. See if you got what it takes to take on that responsibility as owner-operator, okay? Think about that. Think about that. But like I said, other than that, to the young man, just learn the road atlas. That's where you got to start off first. Learn the road atlas. Understand the road atlas. Understand the red lines, the blue lines, the black lines, the white line. Understand what all these lines are. They're routes. And some of them you can take a big truck on, and some of them you can't, okay? But like I said, other than that, here's the clip of the paychecks up until now, the gross and the net. But remember one thing, don't worry about that gross. You worry about the net, what you bring it home. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied, I'm content. Like I said, I don't have a lot of toys. I don't have a high maintenance wife. My wife is not a high maintenance person. All that plays a part, dog. If you got a wife out here that love to spend money, and you like to go out here and spend money, you ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. There's nothing wrong with having toys. But at the same time, bills and responsibility comes first. That truck is gonna need an oil change. That truck gonna need tires. That truck is gonna need filters, air filters, DEF filter, air dryer cartridges, belts, wiper blades, brakes. It's gonna need that. It's going to need that. And that's where you've got to be putting up money when you're out here making that money. Because when the winter comes, it slows down up until after February, March. It picks back up. But you have to allow for the winter time. Okay? Well, like I said, other than that, y'all, I done took my 30-minute break here at the rest area. It's time to go run this last hour and a half up to Columbus. But here's the clip that, and maybe this will stop those trolls out. This little old plug right here, I was leaking. It was spraying oil outside, which is this little old hub right here. This little tap right here, this little thing in my hand that pops in here, would you believe, $10. $10 for that little old darn plug right there. That's ridiculous. $10 at the TA for that little plug. And the way you tell is when if you're driving and you see little streaks of oil coming out from under your center cap, all it is this little plug will get hot with that center cap over it. That's the reason why a lot of companies don't want you to put a center cap over this. That way it could breathe. And the heat from the hub and the bearings won't cause this little cap to get weak like this one. See? It get weak around the edge of it. And when it get weak, then it turns around and start leaking oil. Little sprays of oil will start running and it'll fill up down here. And then next thing you know, you have little streaks of oil coming out of your hub here. So you have to check this every day. That's the reason why I said check your hubs every day when you're doing a pre-trip. And that way you can catch it and fix it before the hub go out. Because if that hub loses oil inside there, this oil is up here to this line right now where the tip of my fingernail is. But if this loses oil inside, it will heat up the bearings. The bearings will heat up and this front tire will lock up or it could come off. So please be careful. Please keep a check on that. Whatever you do, keep a check on your hubs. Mostly it used to be the front and the rear, but they sealed the rear hubs. So now you just got them on the front. So all you got to do is just, I guess you can find somewhere. You might get it cheaper. You might get it cheaper at Volvo, but I doubt it. But at the TA, those little plugs right there cost $10. $10 freaking dollars. That's ridiculous. But hey, you want to own a truck? That's what it's all about right there, baby. That's what it's all about. Spending that money. You got to spend that money if you own it. Which I don't own it. I'm leasing it. But hey, still got to spend that money, baby. You got to spend the money. Spend that money. But let me get back in the truck. Put this back on and get back in the truck. Then we'll talk. I'm sitting here at the TA. I don't unload till, believe it or not, 11 o'clock tonight, man. I was going to try to see if I can get it last night, but they said you couldn't. You had to come in at 11, an hour before your appointment. So I'm like, get out of here, man. So anyway, it is what it is. That's all in trucking. So be right back.